Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Joni and this video is going to be my recap for what I created in June, and then at the end of the video I will talk about the materials that I used. So I'm going to start with this Cotty sketchbook. In my prior months, I think the last couple months since I got this, I said I absolutely love this paper for watercolor, and that is still true. So I did just two pieces in here. I'll move these off to the side for just a minute. I did these, they're roses, they're peonies, they're whatever you want them to be. And then I did these mushrooms, and I'm so thrilled with these mushrooms. But what I did find on Cotty paper, again, it really makes the watercolor pop. You can really see the effects that you can get in here from dropping colors in. But I do like to do a combination of colored pencil and watercolor. On this one, I did use Neo Art wax pastels instead of colored pencils, and it worked great. When I used the colored pencils on this paper, it actually rolled one of the fibers. I ended up having to cut one of the fibers off, and you can see, I don't know if you can see, but you can see there's like a fiber missing, like when you snag material. So just something to be aware of. You can't erase on this paper, and you can't really use pencil on this paper. So, and then I really liked creating this flower, and it's meant to have like a Renaissance, medieval kind of feel to it. And so then I went on a kick because I wanted to use watercolor. I cut a bunch of small 2.5 by 3.5. These are ACEO size. So then I went on a whole series of making all these different flowers. They're all watercolor and colored pencil, or colored pencil and, watercolor and Neo Art wax pastel, which are the higher end professional crayons. So I ended up making all of these flowers, and I've decided to start listing ACEOs on eBay. So that is a new project of mine, but we'll get back to sketchbooks for just a minute. And then in this sketchbook for June, I did a bird. I love when I am not feeling inspired or having a hard time coming up with something, birds are easy for me. So this is mixed media, watercolor, colored pencil, pastel, and then I did spray it with the sealant. I did get some new Addison and Sedgwick paints, which I'm very, very happy with, so that was fun. And then I started these little homesteads. I did one last month in my little art creation sketchbook, and I really liked it, so I wanted to create some more. So I made one. I think that was these were the only things that I did in the art creations for June. But then I did do a couple of little ACEOs too. This one has little sheep in it, and then this one is just another, I call these my homestead series. So I did that. So this month, instead of my primary creative outlet, the sketchbooks were more of an inspiration that I took into ACEOs. I ended up making 13 ACEOs this month, and I did sell 4, so I'm feeling very encouraged about that. So that is in my art creation sketchbook by Royal Talents. And then in this sketchbook, I think I did, I did a larger size. I was inspired again by last month's. So this is my Stillman and Burn Zeta. Now, I have been saying I don't like this paper, and I've been watching other artists review these Zeta series books, and they really like them, but they're the bigger version. I think The reason this paper doesn't work for me is because it's too narrow, and so the paper, like, it doesn't really lie flat. It's in the bigger version. I think this paper is easier to use, and I might give that a try. So this was the only piece I did in my Stillman and Burn. I'm trying to use it up. I only have a few pages left. And then maybe I'll go for a bigger size. Then this is the Canson Graduate. I used this as a test sheet for a bunch of, I think it was oil pastel. I think I was using oil pastel for something because it looks like I smudged it. But I did create, this is a piece I named Language of the Butterflies. And then it was plants specific to like a butterfly garden or something like that. So that was a piece I created. And then I'll actually leave this there for now. This is a piece I created. We have a favorite spot up the canyon road. It's literally canyon road that goes up into the mountains. And this is a creek that runs through it. And in spring, everything just pops vivid green. Like, I'm not exaggerating the colors here. Normally, I don't use this kind of palette with these bright, almost fluorescent greens. But because that's what it looks like and that's what it feels like, that's what I use. So I would like to do more landscapes. So I'm giving that a go. And then I did this fox in gouache. I just wanted to use a little gouache. And then I came over it with some pastel as well, and then used fixative to fix it. So I didn't do much work in my sketchbooks. That was all the work I did in my sketchbooks. But as I said, I did do some more ACEOs, so I will share those with you now. So I wanted to do some pigeons. I just enjoy making cute pigeons. So I did that pigeon. So this is Pearl. I named her Pearl, and she has little white marks around her neck. So she's Pearl. And then this is Henry. So Henry, I did a little thing where what Pearl likes, sort of like what they do on Love is on the Spectrum, where Pearl likes walking in the park and rain. And then I did what Henry likes too. So Henry likes raw peanuts and everything about Pearl. And then I just did a fox. Foxes are always, I normally do a lot more of them towards the autumn. Foxes seem like an autumn subject to paint, but I always love them, so I decided to do that. And then recently, just the last few days, I've gotten into this series of what I call my primitive birds. So it's sort of like a folk art style. I did use a little, I don't know if you can see in the light, iridescent gold watercolor paint to highlight the stars. But these are my favorite thing that I did this month. So I did the bluebird, I did the turquoise bird. Again, it's got the iridescent gold. And then I did the brown bird. Same, I did iridescent gold. So I'm thinking next I'll probably try to do darker colors, like maybe a midnight blue or something, and use a little iridescent silver. I believe this iridescent that I used, oh, I remember what it was. I actually got an iridescent gold from, I think her name is Julia Kallen, something like that. She's a Swedish artist. I got them from her. But you can use Holbein makes them in good quality iridescence as well. So then let's talk about some of the watercolors I used for some of these pieces. This is a handmade watercolor. It's called Dark Bee. So it's really unique colors. I love them. They're very pastel-y and a little bit less translucent than kind of your standard Daniel Smith watercolors and things like that. So I like the effect on these. And I don't remember specifically. I think these were the ones that I used for most of the flowers. But I did pop around a lot as far as I used, watercolor, the actual watercolors I used. This is my Addison and Sedgwick palette, and as I said, I bought a few more of those. I'm really, really happy with them. These are the ones that I'm using for those primitive folk birds, and they're perfection for that. And then I just wanted to show, I have a lot of palettes. I won't even say how many palettes, but I have a palette for Winsor & Newton, Sennelier, Holbein, you know, Da Vinci, all the watercolors I like. So this is Winsor & Newton, so I did use these this month. And then this was kind of my primary. I took I think this is a Mission, I don't remember what brand because I took the innards out of it, but it had the plastic insert with the wells. But I have so many Daniel Smith, you probably can't even see all these, that I created this palette of Daniel Smith colors, and I'll go and show you this as well. So I used Daniel Smith a lot this month as well, and really, really enjoyed it. So that is my, oh, I wanted to show you my colored pencils. I probably should have gotten the Neo Art wax pastels. I'll do that next time. I did use Derwent Lightfast. These were my #1 pencil, the Caran d'Age 6901 Luminance pencils. I did use Prismacolor Premier. I used some Pablo. That's another Caran d'Age. It's, I think this is the professional. All of these Luminance are light fast. They're considered the professional range. I did use these, and then I did use some Holbein. I love this color. This is, jade green. Absolutely beautiful. So those were the materials. I didn't get crazy on materials this month. I didn't do any acrylic ink or anything like that. So again, I really enjoy having you here. I love your comments. I love your enthusiasm for what I'm doing. Really appreciate it. I do have an Etsy shop, and now I'm selling on eBay. So if you want to check out my work on eBay, I'm Joni M. Russell 58. On Etsy, I'm Illustrations by Joni Russell. So thank you for your support, and we'll see you again soon. Bye for now.